Good evening. I'm Elizabeth Vargas.
And I'm John Stossel.
And this is 2020.
Your weather continues with Sam Champion.
You never know where you're going to be when bad weather strikes. You could even be in your car.
Across the state, cars are stuck and roads are closed.
When driving gets hazardous, we rely on habits, tried and true techniques. But how true are they?
A tornado warning continues until 4 p.m.
Let's say you're driving and encounter a tornado. First reaction?
Look at this! This is incredible!
Often the next reaction is,
you can outdrive that tornado.
Absolutely not. That is a myth. Tornadoes change direction without any notice, and you don't know what the road in front of you is going to look like. There could be debris. You could have a roadway that's blocked. Where are you going to go?
Automotive expert and former race car driver Lauren Fix calls herself the car coach.
But I've seen this. I've seen people in cars outdrive tornadoes.
You've seen the storm chasers. These people are professionals, and this is not something the average driver should even attempt. If you see a tornado, find shelter immediately. Your car is a 4,000-pound toy, and it can be tossed at anywhere at any time.
The winter season's full of myths about snow, ice, and freezing temperatures. So what better place to get to the cold, hard truth than about 9,000 feet up in the Colorado Rockies? A place like here in Steamboat Springs can get 30 feet of snow in an early winter season, and it rarely gets above freezing. Well, that's great for the ski conditions, but for driving, well, that's something completely different.
It's up to 2 feet of snow, and it's packing something worse, ice. It's a travel nightmare.
If you start to skid in the ice or snow, just realize that it's not the end of the world. First and foremost, don't panic.
Mark Cox is the director of the Bridgestone Winter Driving School in Steamboat Springs.
Normally, people will either let go of the steering wheel, yank the steering wheel, and/or jam on the brakes. None of these things helps you in correcting a skid.
We're often told, steer into a skid. But is that true? Let's say the car skids and the front end turns to the right. Many people would believe steering into the skid means turning the car to the right. Big mistake. The skid actually happens because the rear wheels have slipped to the left. So steering into the skid means you should be steering left. But to avoid all that confusion, Cox tells his students,
look in the direction that you'd rather have the car be going and steer that way.
Another winter driving myth? Always warm up the car. This one simply isn't true.
Modern cars deal really well with cold, and you can start it up pretty quickly and take off right away within 30 seconds, and it's fine.
In fact, experts say idling the car wastes gas, and that's bad for the environment. It's April, and April showers may bring May flowers, but they may also bring something else. Flooding. Don't buy into the myth that you can drive through a flooded road, even if you think it's just a puddle.
If it's flooded roadways from a river, a creek, or a lake, you do not want to drive through it, because anything that's even a foot deep of water, which is not much at all, can cause your vehicle to float.
Spring storms also bring,
oh my gosh,
lightning. And the myth people continue to believe, no matter what they've been told, that you're safe in your car if you get struck by lightning because rubber tires insulate your car from lightning.
Why do people believe that it's the rubber in the tire that keeps them safe from lightning?
Rubber is an insulator, but in reality, if you get struck by lightning, it will travel down to the ground and stop itself.
The popular British TV show Top Gear decided to put the myth to the test. Host Richard Hammond was the guinea pig.
They're going to zap me and this car with 800,000 volts. You might be thinking that the tyres are going to protect me by insulating the car from earth because they're rubber.
Inside the car, he waits.
He's starting to raise the voltage. You can almost feel the tension. I'm being hit by lightning. Hey! Oh, now it's doing stuff to my car. I've got error up on the dashboard. I'm alive.
It wasn't the tires that kept him safe. The one thing that did protect him from the lightning strike was the car's metal frame, because the electricity traveled around the passenger compartment and down to the ground.
The reason you're protected in your vehicle is there's a lot of plastic and a lot of non-metal components. Best thing is, don't touch anything metal, keep your hands to yourself, and pull over and park in a safe place if you can.
But what happened to Hammond's car?
And it starts. It still works. Amazing.
Not everyone is so lucky.
My poor little car was totaled.
Wendy Allen was struck by lightning as she drove on a rural Mississippi highway.
It was raining very heavily, it was thundering and lightning, and I just saw bright light, intense light, filled up my car for just a split second. But it was a deafening bang, and I knew.
Her car antenna was destroyed. That's where the lightning struck. It fried the car's electrical system and exited through the trunk, right there at that little scorch mark. And again, it wasn't the rubber in the tires that saved her.
I wasn't touching anything metal in the car.
Safer to stay in your car than get out of your car, you think?
It's absolutely safer to stay in the car than get out of the car.
There is not a doubt in my mind that I'm incredibly lucky to be alive today. My car saved my life.